Did you know that Marvel mutants are divided into different power levels, ranging from the weakest to those who can even challenge cosmic gods? Today, we're gonna check out the whole scale and see where names like Cyclops, Magneto, and even Jean Grey fit in. So, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into this mutant hierarchy. Zeta Level. The first step on our scale is the Zeta Level. And here's the interesting part. These guys can't even really be called mutants. They're humans who carry the X gene, but have never actually shown any mutation. It's like a flame that's been put out. The potential is there, but it's never been lit. Even without powers, Zetas still play an important role. That's because they can pass this gene on to their descendants. So, a Zeta's kid or grandkid could be born with some amazing mutant abilities. But there's a catch. The gene could also just disappear with them, like the mutant lineage ends right there. In short, Zeta level mutants are the foundation, the seed of mutant evolution in Marvel, even if they've never used a power. Epsilon Level. If Zetas carry the gene without showing anything, Epsilon mutants are the complete opposite. They do show mutations, but in a brutal way. They're the ones who suffer the most in the X-Men universe, because their powers often don't help them at all. In fact, they can actually be harmful to them. Imagine getting the ability to turn into paper, turning blue for no reason, or even spitting acid without having any resistance to your own poison. It's both weird and tragic at the same time. Many Epsilons are born with deformities, like shriveled wings instead of arms, which don't even let them fly. They live on the fringes of society, facing prejudice and even persecution, both from humans and more powerful mutants. Well-known examples are Beak, Jazz, several Morlocks, and Derme. And hey, if you want to see a full list of mutants with the most useless and undesirable powers, check out the video in the card. That's insane. Delta Level. Now we're at the Delta Level, and here's the interesting part. A lot of people look at these mutants and think, oh, they're too weak. But hold up, it's not really like that. Deltas usually don't have explosive powers that can destroy cities or lift mountains. Their abilities are more subtle, but super useful. We're talking about mutants with super intelligence, tracking, language mastery, future perception, and even luck manipulation. Yeah, Domino's in this group, controlling probabilities in her favor. So it might not be a flashy power like shooting optic blasts or controlling the weather, but in combat and strategy, these mutants make all the difference. Just think of Cypher, Forge, Callisto, and Domino herself, who show how Delta Level is underrated, but never irrelevant. Gamma Level. Gamma Level mutants are the ones who can't hide. Their mutations are so visible and striking that their bodies are walking proof of who they are. Blue skin, sharp claws, monstrous forms, there's no disguise that works. But here's the thing, this classification isn't about how strong they are. A gamma mutant can be just as powerful as a beta or even an alpha. What defines this category is the significant physical change that gives them away to anyone. And here's the irony, even Mystique, who can look like anyone, is considered gamma. That's because her main mutation is the ability to shapeshift. Other iconic examples are Nightcrawler, Blob, Sabretooth, and Beast, all with brutal powers, but also with looks that leave no doubt they're different. In short, gamma mutants are the most obvious face of mutation in Marvel, caught between the weight of prejudice and standing out because of their unique strength. Before we reveal the next levels, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. And hey, if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and hype it up in the comments below. It helps the video reach even more X-Men fans and just makes the community stronger. Beta Level. Now we're at the Beta Level, where things get a bit more complex. These mutants have partial control over their powers, or show a subtle physical change that gives them away. A classic example is Wolverine. He's considered beta because he can't control his healing factor. It just happens, whether Logan wants it to or not. On the other hand, Gambit has full control over his ability to charge objects with kinetic energy, but his black eyes give him away as different. Another example is Quicksilver, the mutant speedster. His white hair is part of his mutation, a physical detail that keeps him in the beta category, despite his insane speed. And here's an important point. Being beta doesn't mean being weak. In fact, many mutants in this category can be as powerful as an alpha. Rogue, for example, started as a beta, but after learning to better control her powers, she even reached Omega level status at certain points. So betas are kind of in between. They have visible or partially uncontrollable mutations, but they can become key players in any battle. Alpha level. Now we're getting into the alpha level, where mutants hit an almost ideal balance. They have total control over their powers and, on top of that, no physical changes that give them away. In other words, they can walk down the street like regular humans without raising any suspicion, and still have incredible abilities. But here's the catch. This classification doesn't measure who's stronger or weaker. A beta or even a gamma mutant can be more powerful than an alpha. The difference is in the control and appearance. Some of the standout examples are Kitty Pryde, who phases through walls with ease, Colossus, who can turn his body into organic steel, and even Pyro and Avalanche, who control fire and earth like pros. The alpha level represents the idea of perfect mutants, who can live among humans and, when necessary, turn into living weapons. Omega level? So far, we've seen some strong and amazing mutants, but at the Omega level, we're talking about living legends. This is the highest category, the peak of mutant evolution in Marvel. These are the beings who can manipulate reality on insane levels, controlling matter, energy, space, and even time. An Omega mutant is someone with no limits within their specific power. Take Magneto, for example. He controls magnetism on a planetary scale. Storm can alter global weather patterns. Iceman has been able to affect the entire Earth's ecosystem. And Jean Grey, as the host of the Phoenix, just breaks any power barrier. And there's even a subdivision. When a mutant masters multiple areas at once, they can be called psionics. If they focus on just one element, they're known as elementals. To sum it up, Omega mutants are the ones who turn battles into catastrophes and wars into reality-changing events. Beyond Omega. If the Omega level already seems like the peak of mutation, there's still a level beyond it, but it's never really been officially recognized. We're talking about Beyond Omega, a nearly mythical classification in the Marvel Universe. The most famous example is Franklin Richards, the son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. Galactus once declared Franklin the most powerful mutant ever born, capable of bending reality and even simulating the X gene. There's just one catch. Technically, he's not even really a mutant, but his power was so insane that it surpassed any scale. Besides him, other characters have been described in a similar way, like Vulcan, Matthew Malloy, and even Nate Gray. Some have been said to be beyond Omega, but there's never been an official consensus. In other words, Beyond Omega represent that speculative territory, reserved for mutants who simply break any known limits. So, did you enjoy learning about all the mutant levels in Marvel? If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, hype up the video, and drop a comment on which level you like the most. And hey, don't go anywhere. At the end screen, there's the video, which original X-Men is the most powerful. Click on that, and let's keep this mutant power marathon going.